Robert, welcome. How are you today, pal? What's going on?
Christopher, how you doing today? Good to talk to you.
Always a pleasure to you, Robert. Nice to have you with us. Let me hear what's on your mind now. Fire away.
Want to talk to you about Tiger real quick, but I got to tell you a funny story. You'll get a kick out of this. I'm down in South Florida for a little bit. Had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago to get 2 tickets to the Miami Open, which I know is near and dear to your heart, for the semifinals today. And I looked at the draw, and I said, Federer and Djokovic on one side, I'll take the night session. Do you have any idea who I'm going to go watch tonight?
Well, it's not Federer. Is it Isner and who?
No. Isner and Del Potro played in the afternoon. I'm going to watch 2 guys that I've never heard of in my life.
Oh, because they put that match at night, and they both lost. So you got nailed with the deal. And so Isner is on the other half of the draw with Del Potro. Federer lost first round. Djokovic got knocked out too. So as a result, there you got. Let's find out who you are going to see, so I can get a sense of who they are. I don't even know myself. Let's take a look at that so we can make sure, Robert and Buchanan, you're going to see. Well, you know what, Zverev is pretty good. That's not terrible against Busta, which is not great. Isner beat Del Potro today 6-1, 7-6, so he's in the final. But Zverev is a good player. You would have rather had the other match at night, but it's not the worst thing. You're okay. Go ahead. Let me hear.
Okay. All right. So let me get to Tiger now. The thing I always think about with Tiger is if he wins a tournament, then he can cheese off CBS, NBC, and anyone all he wants. Until he does that, the people that are really making it the biggest, and I hate to go here, Dog, but I still listen to your old home. I listen to your new home. And I can't tell you how tired I get of hearing an update where they say, and in golf, Tiger Woods is 7 strokes behind in the 3rd round of the fill-in-the-blank Open. I mean, can we hear about who's winning? And can we hear about how many guys he's got to climb over that are much better right now than he is to get back to where he deserves this kind of treatment? And the other thing I think about is it used to be, obviously, he still wears Nike clothes, but if you look at all the different golfers and all the different advertisements and all the stuff that they do cross-pollination with other, Phil with KPMG on his hat for 20-something years, Tiger's got no sponsors left. So the only reason people still are living and breathing for it is, A, he once was great, and B, it's like an obsession. And it feeds his feeling that he can just tell CBS next week at Augusta. And by the way, I don't know that Augusta's going to let him get away with cheesing off CBS. I don't want to talk to you.
No, Augusta, Robert, will let Augusta does not want any controversy. We all know that. Augusta, and good call. Augusta's going to, if Tiger says I'm not doing any press conferences, I'll pay the fine if they ask me any questions on his book. Augusta's going to tell the media no questions on the book, and that's the way it's going to be. So Augusta's going to do what Tiger tells him to do. Augusta doesn't love the media anyway, so Augusta they would kowtow. Now, CBS is in a very tricky spot because we know what CBS is into. See, CBS, if you are going to cover the Masters, and they've been doing it every year now since, mid-50s? If you are going to, it's a 1-year contract every year. It's a handshake deal. You have to basically kowtow to them. You can't cover it and get to the specifics and all that the way you would normally do it, because if you do it, Augusta's going to go somewhere else. And NBC or Fox is going to be on top of it, and they're going to want to cover the tournament. And you're going to lose a big deal where that tournament makes a ton of money for CBS. They can take all their clients down there. Augusta is a great place to go. It's a great event. It's an unbelievable 3 days. The whole world loves it. Everybody would get a chance. 50-cent Coca-Colas, $1 ham sandwich. The course is phenomenal. There's not a piece of wrapper anywhere to be found. It's civil. I mean, it's a great, great event. So CBS is in a tricky spot. Do they treat this as a, event where they want to handle it journalistically proper? Or do they basically do what Augusta tells them to do? Well, CBS, for the most part, is going to do what Augusta tells them to do. And so they are going to be careful here. Nance is going to be careful. Nance is not going to go out there and, you're not going to hear Jim Nance or Nick Faldo talking about Tiger Woods in a negative light next week. I can guarantee that right now. They might say there's a book out that's controversial, but they are not going to editorialize about the book. They're not going to do that. And CBS is not going to want him to do that. And CBS needs Tiger as much as Augusta needs Tiger. And Robert, I get it. He hasn't won in a long time. And it's been a while since he's won a major, 2008. We all get that. But did you see the ratings the last couple of weeks when he played compared to everybody else? Valspar and Bay Hill? Pretty good. Larry in Manhattan, Mad Dog Unleashed. Larry, good afternoon. How are you today?
Chris, thanks for taking the call. I would just chime this up to being one big money grab. I mean, Tiger is trying to regain his footing. This is going to show you how much everybody in the golf community needs Tiger Woods, and they're trying to make cash in as much as possible.
Well, Armin Catane doesn't need Tiger. What is Jeff Bennett?
Book, dog. There's no point. Who cares?
Why is there no point? I care.
Who cares?
This book's going to sell. This bill's going to sell millions of copies.
I think half the people out there are just going to buy it because it's Tiger. They're talking about Tiger, but no.
Well, that's the idea. People want to read about Tiger. That's what they want to do.
What is in it? What's in it? If you don't have Tiger's point of view, you don't have him contributing to the book. I mean, you can find. Well,
that's not the.
Find one person that doesn't like you, and they'll have something negative to say. And that's.
Hold on now. What? You think Tiger's led an exemplary life? That's what you're telling me?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's bound. If you dig deep enough, you're gonna find something that somebody's not gonna like. And they're not
digging that deep. The guy was. The guy was. He was an incredible serial womanizer. He was on the front. He was on the front page of the New York Post 23 consecutive days. You don't think people want to read about that?
5 years old, Chris. He wasn't doing the things as a teenager that you and I did. He was playing golf, and he finally got out from under his dad's wing, and he just went buck wild. I mean, he was married, so I mean, it's sad to say, but I mean, he just didn't have a life. All he knew was golf.
I agree with that, but I want to know. I want to know how this dynamic worked, Larry. And good call. I'm interested. I mean, what did Tiger do when he was 8 years old? And I'm learning. What he did was hit golf balls. This is a guy that loves to practice, that hit ball after. I mean, he would go out there and win a U.S. Open by 15 strokes at Pebble Beach, and the next morning he's out there hitting 9,000 balls again. I mean, the guy got an unbelievable work ethic. Now, that's going to be lost in this book because all we're going to talk about is what I read you at the top here about his behavior. Because that's what we're more interested in. We know Tiger's great. We know that part. Let's learn the other part. Here's what I'm going to tell you about this book. Even if you think you know a lot about Tiger, you're going to find this book interesting. Even if you think you're tigered out, you're going to find this book interesting. Mike in Northern California, he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mike, good afternoon. How are you today?
Good, Chris. How are you? Thanks for taking the call.
You got it, Michael. Nice to talk to you. What's on your mind now? Let me hear.
Yeah, I just want to back up what this guy's saying in the book. I had personal vision of what was going on with Tiger during the early 2000s. I was running a very popular restaurant in Las Vegas. And basically, while he was engaged to Elin, he would roll through my entire female staff, put them on edge with each other. They used to hate each other after he rolled through there, made promises to these girls. They all knew the game, but obviously he broke those promises. He used to come in with Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and literally yell at them, drag them out of the restaurant and yell at them, say, "Come on, hurry up, we got to go," and jump into their limo, and just really treated everybody around him poorly, and even treated his celebrity friends poorly, and obviously my staff poorly. So.
Well, there you go. And Jordan, by the way, is no angel either. A lot of Vegas people think Jordan is one of the biggest jerks in the world. Think about that. We continue.